he put on before he wanted it to go away? It wasn't what he put on it. It was... It had something to do with the air battle we were doing. I can't remember what it was, but I lost my patience. There's a point when I lose my patience that I do stupid, impulsive shit. So that is what he was using. So I was just like, I'm gonna eat it. That was my thought. I'm gonna eat it. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. And as a side thing, what that was going to lead into was I've nearly died by drowning in the Dead Sea. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Anyone who says you can't drown in the Dead Sea is fucking lying. It is a misnomer. You cannot sink in the Dead Sea. Does not mean you cannot drown. And what reminded me of that was just the smell and thinking about dying and then the pain in my lungs. Let's clarify this for anyone who hasn't heard this one before. Dead Sea, very salty. You can't go down in it. So everyone says you can't drown in the Dead Sea. It's so super cool and safe. Now, what if you're a moron? What if the stalagmites of salt in the Dead Sea are really tall? What if, like a dumbass, you kick one and scratch the ever-living crap out of your leg with salt in the saltiest salt water you've ever been in, so it just immediately burns? Now, what if you're a dumbass and you immediately try to curl into a ball while going, ah? What's likely to happen is you've just done a spin in the water. In regular water, this is safe. You just spin and you kind of just keep going. What ends up happening is in the Dead Sea is you're upside down in the Dead Sea. Sure, you're floating on top, but you can't breathe through your feet. So you end up upside down and you inhale a bunch of water trying to right yourself. And then you get a bunch of the saltiest salt water in the world in your lungs. I thought I was gonna die. You've never heard people make the, oh, you can't drown in the Dead Sea. I've heard a lot of people say that. No, you can definitely drown in the Dead Sea. You can't sink in the Dead Sea. These are two different things. So yeah, I ended up upside down, barely able to right myself. I'm surprised I did right myself. Floating upside down with my head in the water, and I inhaled salt water. It's so much worse than salt water. It literally hurt to breathe for like 3 hours. Didn't I tell them to kill a bunch of these animals a while ago? Oh, the dogs have been brought down to 20. I said everything to 20, so 2 of them need to be butchered, but oh well. I like how no one's going to that temple, but all the animals are. That's weird.
No more fishing.
We'll stop fishing then. Something's wrong. I made beds. That's kind of what's wrong. We need to start uninstalling beds over here and moving them down below. As we saw a second ago, these beds are in danger, and the enemy will use them to kill us. All right, let's see which one of these I left behind when they're done getting rid of those. Only because you didn't die. I sink in a regular pool, so... No, that is... I think that is the single most pain I've been in. I've been in a lot of pain, don't get me wrong. But the instant you're upside down, so of course your blood's trying to rush to your head, surrounded in salt water, so also your eyes are just fucking burning, BT dubs. Like, even though I've got them closed, it's so salty, it hurts. Even when your eyes are like closed along the entire exposed anything it can reach. Just burns. And then the top of your lungs, because like I said, it was at the top down, because I was upside down. Just fucking burned with that weird salty dryness. You get to the shore, and of course the people I'm with are like, "Oh, are you okay?" And you're like, "Yes." What happened? I breathed water. Okay. We'll be over here. Okay. And you just sit there for a couple hours until they're like, "Oh, it's time to go." And you're like, "Good." Like literally doing fucking little short forced breaths to just stay alive. And everyone else is going to have a nice lunch. Oh, good. It grew to become a drake. My favorite. Now, did we get the ramp done? We nearly did. That one never got done. All right. And that build construction wall. This one never got done. So unlike last time where we built inside out, this one I'm thinking we build outside in, then do the walls, and then go from there. What do you think? Now the regular pool thing I think is just based upon lung volume, isn't it? Whether or not you can sink or not in a regular pool. Stray horse. I want to see something. Close it, right? Okay, now. All right, let me think. This is done. We're moving people down below. I am uninstalling the beds. Did I get rid of the food storages here? Like, are these gonna rot? So I want them to move them all down, but we've already filled up the area down here. Like, how much effing food do we have? So you look at this. We already filled up this entire stockpile. Those dogs are gonna be the pain in me. I think for now, not even joking, I think we go back to the dogs and maybe later we can raise the numbers, but we lower them all the way down to 10. We butcher 40 dogs. I know the idea was that I'd have a massive amount of them and I'd train them for war and shit, but I'm clearly not getting that done. I feel like we need to lower the numbers for now just to ease up on pathfinding. We've got more beds coming in. And I believe I uninstalled a bunch of people's beds so we can start installing them. Might have gotten more uninstalled than I thought we did. Hell yeah. Probably shouldn't have done so much at once. What are you talking about? Double win. Nope, sorry. They've got to be removed. Maybe later we'll let them breed up again.
He's using birds, not cats. For what? Who's using birds? I don't think so. Yes? I mean, I know you can, to be clear, I know you can go one by one, but can you forbid tallow in one go? I suppose if you search for tallow and then forbid them like that, could you toggle? Hold on, I want to test something. Ah, okay, figured it out. Yeah, if you have the tallow on hand, you can do a search for tallow. I don't have it here, but let's say I'll pretend the egg is tallow, and then do capital C. You forbid all of the tallow from cooking. God, we have a lot of eggs. Did I miss when you just butchered? I ordered the dogs butchered. About 39 of them. Speaking of which, it has been a while and we lost a bunch of dwarves. What do they have? What are they doing? We have 2 administrators, so I'm leaving them alone for now. Animal dissector, you're a hauler. You have skills in trapping. The other one has skills in nothing. All right, fuck it. I'm grabbing you now. Haulers. Animal trainer. Maybe I will keep him. Armor is a dire. I mean, all that through. Animal trainer is a doggo dwarf. Bartender, beekeeper. I'll leave him alone. 2 bone carvers. I believe I call you boneman. Yep, because you had other skills I don't need. Bookbinder, I'm not using right now, so you are a hauler. 3 brewers. But I also have no brewmasters, apparently. That's good to know. 1 butcher, so you are a survivalist. 2 carpenters. Elfaters. 1 clerk. Hauler for now. 1 cook. Check player D. 2 craftsmen. And what? Everything. So haulers. I need to build you a damn thing, whoever's asking. Engraver is an artist. And I'm under attack. The Etten Rosemoo Codes Let Sue's Gut Call has come. A giant humanoid monster with 2 heads. I like how they're all ready to go because they were training. There you go. Last guy's getting involved. Man, they're like moving in formation and shit too. All right, he's dead. Oh, we didn't check last time to see who did what. Again, none of this blood is... Yeah, none of that's dwarven blood. Huzzah. All right, let's see what happened to the Etten. The Dire Builders... Okay. The very first attack.
The Dire Builder slashes the Etten in the right hand with his bronze short sword, tearing the muscle, opening an artery, and severing many nerves. The force bent the right wrist. What an awesome opening move. The Etten's retaliation missed the Dire Builder. The Dire Builder went in for a double slash, slicing the Etten in the right foot with his bronze short sword, fracturing the bone, opening another artery, severing a motor nerve, a ligament, and a tendon. Tearing apart the right ankle, forcing the Etten to fall over. If you thought the Etten was gonna win after that opening, you've not been paying attention. The Etten thought to himself, can it all end so quickly? Begone, fear. Fear being gone will not help you, Mr. Etten, for you no longer have a hand or a foot. Some would say that left you with half an offense. The Dire Builder repeatedly stabbed the Etten in the lower body with his bronze short sword, tearing the muscle and tearing through the kidneys and the foot and everyone else. Like literally
this was the opening. Like it was Off with the wrist, off with the ankle, stab, stab, stab to the stomach, and then everyone else got involved. The rest of this is 8 pages of them fucking picking on the poor bastard. Hell, I can search for lungs and find it.
The dire builder punches the Etin in the upper body with his right hand, bruising the left lung because the weapon would have been too easy. The plant lover bashed the Etin in the upper body with whatever the fuck her weapon is, bruising the muscle and bruising the right lung, because if one lung is bruised, then so must they all.
Where was Lethal? Of course he missed. Like, literally, they stopped fighting with weapons. They just started punching. That's the funny bit. I don't know, probably. Like, I feel like if I stab someone through their lip into their head and the sword or whatever got stuck there, I feel like that would be lethal. The real question is, did anyone get credit for lethal? Or did the game go with natural death again? Killed a dwarf. Killed the dwarf. Killed a Kawadi. Killed a Kawadi. No kills, no kills, no kills. The Etin died of natural causes, folks. You saw it here. We're not murderers. Ban cooking tallow. Wife says it's sleepy time. All right, Sirlac, have a good night. Tell the wife I said hello. Or good night. Something.
Make her feel happy with my presence. Night, wife. Let out, totally natural. The forgotten beast Sam Skith has come. A great alligator with external ribs. It has a pair of long antennae and has a bloated body. Its dark scarlet scales are round and set far apart. Beware its deadly spit. Is this the lizard that hates?
Is this, what is it, SCP-079? Is that the aggressive alligator, the lizard that, is it called the lizard that hates? The thing that never dies? I think we can't kill this thing. I have a sneaking suspicion we will never kill this thing. As it disappears into the water. Yeah, all right. Don't fuck with that. We're gonna ignore the fact that that's right below everyone's beds. Unfortunately, this is the downside to what I did. We have to reassign all these as individual bedrooms. So this is going to take a few clicks. But yeah, of course. I mean, it's a natural death when I stab someone through his upper lip into his skull and leave the sword there. It's a natural death that he bled out because naturally he was dead. Duh. Now, random thought that is not going to take fruition for a while. Let's be clear about this. But if I'm able to start going more full time and streaming in the middle of the week, I know we kind of like some of my creative streams when I'm programming. Would you guys want me to stream creating maps for D&D? Since I have and I mean like genuine combat maps with lighting and shit like that. Because I plan on possibly DMing things, either on stream or privately for friends. But for this to work, I'm going to be creating maps. Do you think enough of you would be interested in watching me sit there meticulously do map squares and the like? Only 2 more rows to go. Definitely not hitting muscle failure in the right arm. This is how you get repeated stress injury. Yeah, you keep hitting minus. You sexy, sexy wrist. You take all that punishment. There we go. 79 units without bedrooms, 69 unowned bedrooms. As long as we have 10 couples, we have enough beds. We don't have any more from upstairs anyways. Did I miss any? Oh god, I missed a bunch. I wonder if they're gonna grab their clothing and bring them to their new bed. Alright. Now, it is 10:30 right now. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to do a save, and then that'll bring us into the last hour? That'll bring us in the last hour. I'm thinking we take a quick look with Armok Vision, and we, worry about the ghosts later. I'm thinking at some point in the last hour, we take a quick vision with Armok Vision, little looks around. And of course, making the assumption that he is going to be streaming at that time, we raid Formal Blizzard. And then Formal Blizzard tries to explain to us all as he confesses that how he uninstalled the very concept of executable files from his computer. Now, we have another ghost. 11 caskets. How many are in here? At best, we have 9 dwarves to bury. So we have enough. The ghost will go away. Oh, is he still here? The Minecraft streamer? Yes, Formal Blizzard, a Minecraft streamer. The most skilled at uninstalling executable files. See, here's the thing. I want to answer, I really do, because I have answers. But I also don't want to take away his confession. So if I say what you can or can't do, I might inadvertently point out what he did do. And I don't want to do that. See, I did not say executables. I said the concept of executables. To be clear on this. But we will leave the specifics to him for when that time comes. Alright, we got our beds uninstalled, so they're ready to be installed in a new location. Everyone is buried. The ghosts have been laid to rest. We have all the beds down. The vampire is locked up. We have a temple that can deal with more statues. That's another ghost gone. Now, I need you. Who do you have for gods? Kadal. I will make a statue of Kadal. Someone destroy the mechanics hut. Good. Fantastic. I was just saying, please tell me someone got rid of the mechanics. Because that's what I need. Kadal? Yes, Kadal. I wonder how how that works. Image, historical figure. What if I say wayward? Am I sorting by name? I am. When we looked at the deities, it said a deity of the wayward mechanisms. Damn it. Statue, details, image, historical, dull. What's incoming? It's true incoming. I don't know what that means. I feel like I'm supposed to be defending myself, but I know not what statue request forms. I mean, the statue request forms are open. It should be open. I've had it open for a bit. Oh, the shrubberies. Are you both referencing shrubberies? I feel like one of you is doing like an evil maniacal. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty. Well, thank you, Blind IRL. How are you doing? Let me give you a shout. I had buttons for these, but my buttons have gone borkers. What? Ziggurat 2? Explain to me Ziggurat 2, Blind. Also, Squirmy Burrito, thank you so much for following.
Thank you so much.
Now, if any of you are new and wish to be dwarfed, type in !dwarf, DWARF, or !dwarf, DORF. It is a script I've been working on so that no matter what game I'm doing, you can tell if your dwarf is alive or if it's dead. And if it's dead and we're doing Dwarf Fortress, it'll give you a random number that I can use to name one of the dwarves after you. Run-based first-person shooter where you be a wizard that wants staffs and guns.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I feel like most wizards want staffs and guns. That is how I would want to be a wizard. All right, so I got Cutie Danny Boy doing 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The next big thing I need to do for this is I got to actually start figuring out how diff hack works so that I can get the script to name it itself. That's like the last thing I have on my script, I believe, to make it work correctly. But yeah, when you're dead, I have it so it can be updated so that it knows that you're dead. So if I'm doing some other game, you can just stop by and it'll whisper you whether or not you're alive or not. So Wizard 101 plus Immortal Redneck? What? And before bot bans me. No, it shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to be banned blind. I believe you've been around enough. You should count as a regular. Bot should be nice to you. Subscriber, verified, FFZ supporter. I'm guessing one of those three things. Does it say if you're a regular? It should say if you're regular, I thought. I've got so many little fucking symbols. Hello, Yellowberry. Hello, hello. I may be able to look into that. Oh, do not tempt me. Yellowberry, for Dwarf though, it's DWARF or the Dwarf Fortress way of just DORF. I should change the script to allow the one in the middle, or right now I don't, I only have the two. Now, you got Dwarf Cutie Danny Boy. Cutie Danny Boy. The dwarf is cuting. All right, Cutie Danny Boy, you have no friends, no family, you have nothing but passing acquaintances. You do pray to one god, that is Khan, a female dwarf associated with games, luck, and jewel. We've had 3 deities in this one base that are all female dwarves associated with games, luck, and gambling, aren't they? Am I crazy? But anyways. All right, hold on. Ooh, you're going fast. 32. Wait, hold on. Mortal Redneck is more or less a clone of Ziggurat 1. I don't know what the hell either of you. I just think I've been bopped by it before. 32 for Squirming Burrito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32. Squirmy Burrito. So what it does is whenever you run let's say you're not alive, and I'm doing Dwarf Fortress. Thank you for following. The cutest ghost. If you were the cutest ghost, what hope does anyone else have? If you've taken all the cuteness.
Thank you so much.
Everyone else must now be the ugly ghost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Yellowberry. So as I was saying, for operation's sake, if I'm doing Dwarf Fortress and you don't have a dwarf, it picks a number between 1 and the amount of unnamed dwarves I have, the dwarves with no nicknames, and it gives me the number so I can name it for you because I don't know how to get it to inject into the game. But after that, if you're alive and you type in the script and it knows you're alive, it'll send you a whisper saying you're alive. If I'm not doing Dwarf Fortress, it'll send you a whisper saying whether or not you are alive or not without giving you a dwarf. If I don't have enough dwarves to give out, like if there's just not enough dwarves remaining, then what it will do is it'll say, sorry, there's not enough dwarves, so it won't accidentally give you a dwarf thinking you're alive when you couldn't have been alive to begin with. That was like the last major update I did to the script, was getting it to keep track of whether or not I even had dwarves to give out. So I'd have like 9 people claim dwarves as soon as I started, so it's only the first 7 until I get more dwarves. Now, in order, Cutie Danny Boy. As we said, you pray to the one god. Cutie Danny Boy recently thought, worried? Do I look worried? Cutie Danny Boy is indefatigable, but she's flimsy. Cutie Danny Boy likes rock salt, black bronze, picture jasper, cat leather, the color auburn, bolts, gloves, traction benches, ballista parts, loon men for their haunting call, the words of the umber sparks, and the sound of the tenebrous bright intricacies. When possible, she prefers to consume swan, sailfin, molly, soft wheat beer, and oat flour, though she absolutely detests mosquitoes. She has a great feel for surrounding space, a good memory, and ability to focus on good feel for social relationships, but she has bad intuition, a shortage of patience, meager kinesthetic sense, little natural inclination toward music, and little linguistical abilities. She dreams of mastering a skill someday, and this dream was realized in the past. Best part of every doesn't file knows when inevitably pull out 44 and shoots some nearly victorious black sorcerer. Which is very satisfying. You are indeed crazy. I am not the crazy. Cutest ghost is crazy. For they are the cutest and they drive everyone crazy. They're a ghost of a... What's the thing that is an elemental of beauty? It's not a dryad. That's a plant. Nymph. The cutest ghost is a ghost of a nymph. What are we supposed to do? So you can have a dwarf. Domine is starving. I think Domine's just gone crazy. Dusseldorf. Other ghosts can be cute too. Danny Boy likes loonmen. What, Golden Kappa? Weird. Yeah, they screwed up emotes earlier. I don't know if anyone ever noticed that, but way earlier, because they were trying to get it to do Golden Kappas or something like that, everybody's emotes only showed to them. All right, Cutie Danny Boy. Squirmy Burrito. That's who was next. But I believe in the meantime, they got it working. Squirmy Burrito. Squirmy Burrito, you have no friends or family either. I suspect a lot of your new dwarves were generated just for the fort. They don't have a history. But you pray to Kadol, a male dwarf associated with trade and wealth. Squirmy Burrito. Why am I doing this wrong? There we go. Squirmy Burrito recently thought everything is so much easier when you just tell the truth. Squirmy Burrito is slow to heal and clumsy. Squirmy Burrito likes obsidian, brass, almondine, green tree frog leather, giant giraffe horn, grimling tooth, the color dark indigo, pebbles, warhammer, shield, scepters, splints, the words of the merchant of wandering, and the sound of the tenebrous bright intricacies. When possible, he prefers to consume tiger and mango wine. He absolutely detests bats. He has an astonishing ability with languages and words, a good feel for social relationships, and a good spatial sense, but he has an iffy sense for music. He dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. The crazy? Who's crazy? The crazy is all of us. Oh, we noticed. Oh, we noticed. I'm back. I had to tend to my responsibilities. Was it cutest? No. Cutest followed. Who got dwarfed? Chat, scroll up. I swear to God. This is why this is the one issue, is it doesn't automatically assign the dwarves. Where? There we go, Yellowberry. Lastly, Yellowberry, not to be confused with Yellow Belly. Yellow Belly, you also appear to have been generated purely for the existence of my base. You have no history, no family, no friends, no lovers, and no spouses. You pray to the deity Kadal, a male dwarf associated with trade and wealth. Yellow Belly recently thought we should all work together. Over the long term, he's been under a great deal of stress. Oh, there it is. Yellow, I honestly didn't see any negative red, so I almost missed the description. Yellowberry is almost never sick. Yellowberry likes phyllite, rose gold, red spinel, paradise nutwood, giant kangaroo leather, canaf fabric, the color golden yellow, scepters, alpacas for their wool, nautiluses for their many tentacles, the words of the oracular focus, and the sound of the meandering wisp. When possible, he prefers to consume sailfin molly and plum wine, though he absolutely detests snails. He has a great sense of empathy, great creativity, and a sum of patience, but he has quite poor focus, his one and only negative feature. He dreams of creating a great work of art someday. Though to be fair, I also suspect he has a slight issue with stress, and he's been under a great deal of it recently. We have a lot of people that have been going positive, and one less going negative, though to be fair, a lot of them have died. So as long as we don't address that, we're doing good. By the way, for all the new people in, what we are doing is we are building a castle system based upon the Mott and Bailey design, where the castle itself is on a raised hill and it is overseeing the city section of it. So down here, we've built up the defense of the city. It is vulnerable to aerial creatures, but the wall goes up 3 Z levels and then goes over and has a lip internally and externally to prevent climbing. Right now, in terms of long-term build projects, we are slowly raising up a hill 5 Z levels before we put a dedicated tower on top of the hill structure to the northwest. What we are diverging from the normal construction of a Mott and Bailey is that they normally have a ramp between the two where they're actually connected. We can't do that, or at least I'm not going to be doing that, because I suspect with the climbing mechanics as they are in Dwarf Fortress, that if I were to have them connected using the ramping system, that anyone could climb the castle portion, the Mott, and then climb around the wall to get to the Bailey or the town section down below. So for the interest of security, they will be connected below ground. That will have to be our dwarven touch to a classical castle design. Split it with a drawbridge. Again, the slight issue to that would be actually getting to it. This wall right here only goes up 3 Z levels, whereas the base of the tower to duplicate the hill effect is going to be about 5 Z levels up, which means that even if I were to do a drawbridge from one to the other, the bridge would only be 3 levels up, meaning if nothing else, that if we were to use it as a purely defensive purpose, everyone would have to climb up 3 Z levels of a hill just to get into the other base, at which point they would have to have a way onto a wall if we were to do it at that point. Whereas the wall design that I discussed previously has an anti-dwarf aspect to it, where I built the lip on the inside and the outside. So I'm trying to prevent dwarves climbing out of the city portion, which sometimes they've been wont to do. Right now, for military purposes, we're not using any traps, not right now. The idea is eventually to have everyone be in the military, but right now, all we do have, I could have just showed you end game. I don't know why I did it this way. Oh, let's just show you the skills. Right now, we only have 7 in our military squad, but they all have been trained up to legendary in their respective skills, discipline, dodging, and wrestling. We have been so far attacked by 2 Ettins, 2 separate Ettins, not one Ettin with 2 heads, of course. We have been attacked by 2 separate Ettins and obliterated them both so soundly, not a single drop of dwarven blood was spilled. We have also been assaulted, it's not here, by a forgotten beast, but that was in the caverns below, which we have revealed, but we have not explored in depth. we bumped into it with our tunnel, so we just walled it off. Down here is where I've got the current workman's setup, we'll say, where everyone over here has a 1x1 bed. I have not implemented the suites yet. The upper right corner is a temple that I've been putting more statues into. Lower right is, of course, just food and booze storage, and lower left is the tavern. We've made a couple of artifacts, none of which are too amazing. We have made an artifact breastplate, though it is only bronze, and we have made a bone helm. We made an artifact bone helm. Everything else, and a lizard bone buckler, I did forget that. Everything else has been shoes or just random crafts, so nothing really map defining in terms of anything extraordinary yet, unfortunately. Now, diorite statue, there we go. How did you get into Dwarf Fortress and how old were you? 8? How old was I? I want to say I was in high school. I could be wrong about that. No, it was not in high school. It was just after high school. I wasn't in the military yet, so it was before I even joined the military. But it was when I lived here. So if I wasn't in high school, it was shortly thereafter. I think I have like a 1 or 2. No. There was a period when I was in college. It was probably when I went to college the first time before I joined the military. And I first got into Dwarf Fortress because Shadow Fox introduced me to the game by loading me into a blank map. Basically was like, oh, well, I should say loaded me into a blank map. He had it loaded on his computer and was like, quit. So I could not that's basically it. I could not figure out how to correctly quit the game. Because at the time you had to save. Like you could abandon, but that wasn't quit. So in order to quit, you had to just save. Which is still technically kind of true. But with the option of abandon the fortress to ruin, I think I would have assumed, or I retire, I would have assumed that that was quitting. But the fact that I could not find a quit provided me a puzzle. And because of the puzzle, I was interested in the game. Literally, I was interested in the fact that Dwarf Fortress's UI was obtuse. As stupid as that sounds, the fact that I could not easily figure out how to quit without doing Control-Delete or anything was what interests me in Dwarf Fortress. Jim Cutter has gone mad. Huzzah. You can build a rampway flat for a drawbridge, then a rampway. What? So I do have a defense of one tile wide drawbridge. Like, I'm not completely defenseless, but I'm not using my normal pattern of massive amount of traps, if that makes sense. They, however, are vulnerable to aerial attacks. Over here, there's nothing over there yet, so I've not done much for its security. Build, construction, ramp. Now, I'm going to start demolishing the structure that is in the middle here because I don't need it. This is where we used to maintain the beds, but as they are now properly in the structure to the southeast, we don't need that anymore. I believe we've finished the ramps. I'm having an issue with this. Is it because it was forbidden? The bronze bolt was forbidden, so I couldn't build the one ramp. All right, build construction floor. It is not wholly necessary, admittedly, that I build this floor, but I would be needing to build enough of a floor to get the walls set up. So what's probably going to end up happening is in a little bit of utilitarian flair. While in real life, the castle would be on top of a legit hill. This hill is going to be hollow, and I'll probably build things upon each floor that makes up the hill below the castle itself. Just because this map was completely flat and I had no hill to work off of. Everyone sleeps together. I like it. No, they're all in their own individual bedrooms. They're not sleeping together, and you're not going to point out to them differently. It is a non-dormitory dormitory so that we don't have the massive penalties for them sleeping with other dwarves in their room or sleeping in a dormitory with other dwarves. We must be clear about this. They are using an open floor plan, an open floor plan studio apartment style. Whatever it takes to get past the bureaucratic nonsense, I suppose. Now, it's a game designed for you UX fuckery lovers united, yes. As goofy as that sounds, it wasn't even like the gameplay, it was just, can you quit? No, I like it. All right, see, now here's the thing. The game that you were playing, you described it by comparing it to a couple of other games. You did say wizard first-person shooter, spells and guns. Can you give me slightly more detail, please? I don't think I quite understand. Is it a running game? Is it like Temple Run, where you're constantly running and you're trying to get to the end? All right, we'll let them build those and we'll fill in the gaps later. I am ignoring petitions right now, much to their dismay, because I don't have a proper setup for them. This I need to start converting over. This is the barracks where the dwarves train in. Oh wait, shit, I forgot they're still in station. Oh, that's gonna make them sad. And we have our bird nest over here, which I've just remembered. I saw birds outside the nest, which means they're not all in. And I want them to all be in. Why are these birds in the rest of my base? Oh my God. You absolute morons. There we go. Let's get all the birds back into the bird nest. Something like 5 different UI styles. If you use box designation, there is no size limit. You can overlap existing destination builds and it handles it nicely. If you use my script, you can use dig circle to make... Wait, what? I feel like I missed something. I'm sorry, I missed part of this conversation. Nice plan, split up the drawbridge. You can build a rampway flat for drawbridge, then rampway. You can do it from further back in the wall. Very nice.
No.
I just don't quite understand exactly what you're saying. You use box designation, there is no size limit to a bridge. You can overlap existing designation builds and it handles it nicely. Use my script, you can use dig circle to make circles and paste them in as floor, wall, ramp construction ordnance. There is a bridge constructor Walking Dead game out soon. I want a bridge constructor Death Stranding game. What? Do you have a dig circle hybrid that sets down tile types? You're asking him. Bridge constructor Walking Dead game? When you say bridge constructor, you're not talking like poly bridge, right? Are we thinking two different things? What is a bridge constructor Walking Dead game? Like if you don't get the zombies across, like the bridge has to be able to support the zombie hordes? Wait. When you're laying out constructions, press B to enable, and you can draw big constructions. Build construction. Oh, I have to get into the thing first. I see what you're saying. You can do it that way. Okay. And then you can draw big constructions. It does chug when you try thousands at once. Poly Bridge clone series called Bridge Constructor. So I was close to...
Sorry, I can't do it, sir.
Build construction wall. Or I want box select back off. All right, I'm getting that idea. So let me get this straight. You are saying, this is your suggestion. I'm guessing second floor, because I already said I didn't want to do that one. I would build a floor out from here, diagonally. And then do a bridge? Like, this was confusing me. Like, you want me to ramp up with a drawbridge? I'm not quite certain I understand how that works. Like, I know that whatever you're saying is doable. I just don't think I understand what you're saying. Polybridge clone series, box designation stays until you disable it. Like, I get the idea of the box designation. I don't understand the general structure that you're saying I should do. Like, I can figure out how to get it done. I just don't understand what you're saying as a structure. So you're talking about connecting these two things. You're talking about connecting these two circles using box designation to do a bridge that leads to a ramp. Or ramp up and then bridge? You build the crossing out of walls and ramps from both sides, so it's diagonal top down and from the side. There's a gap on one Z level with the drawbridge. The other guy just wants an elevated drawbridge. He was trying to counter your argument about how to place it. Yeah. Ramp up, bridge, ramp up. Gotcha. I see what you're saying, and you are correct. However, my description, I think, was a bit vague. The description of how a Mott and Bailey works is these essentially share a wall. Like, this goes there and connects. So I could do the bridge to connect them. That still would not be matching a Mott and Bailey system. This is actually supposed to be like a figure 8 wall system. So I was saying is I can't actually have a ramped wall. They would crawl over it, if that makes sense. Like, if I did the bridge, if it was a floating bridge, that would work, I believe, if I understand how you're saying it. Unless they crawled on the outside, I would have no walls. So yeah, ramp ups that, yeah, if it was a floating bridge, that would work. But off of an actual historical, actually, matter of fact, let me load up a picture real quick. Actually, no, not on you. I'll load it up on this one. Like, I can't do a classic. And I don't think that there is a way in the current Dwarf Fortress system to do this without the enemies being able to crawl. I'm gonna save this image as, save that image, add image, new image. Oops. Just so everyone knows what I'm talking about. That. I do not think I can do this correctly. Because as you can see, like, it's not that it needs to go up, it's that it's essentially all sharing a wall. Should really slurp in the bed. The headache, shaking, dizziness wouldn't be so crippling there. What is happening to you, Infinity Simplex? Yes, go to bed if you are having headache, shaking, dizziness. That is a bad thing to be experiencing. Thank you for the kind welcome and have a good stream. You too, chat. Have a good one. Yes. Please. Please keep your health. Your health is important. But yeah, if I did one floating, it would work. Like, they could be connected outside. But if I did that, I should say, it still isn't what I was trying to reference. That is the thing that we can't really do. Is if it was all in one continuous wall, they would just climb it. Why are they fighting each other again? There's a dingo. Stop it, dingo. A bunch of my animals got murdered. Either that or they died of old age. Some of them are really old. I also have the hungers. Tried to eat during the bile spiel, but the soup had gone off and that ruined it for me. Is my dwarf still insane? What did you do to me, man? Dominate, I didn't do anything to you. You're an artist who feels good. Yeah, no, you're good, Dominate. Underground tunnels is cool. All about to sneeze. Now, if you're wanting to make it more epic, I could dig out a hollow area underground and actually have an elevated bridge in the hollow area. I mean, that's doable. I could do it from here we'll dig down 2 Z levels, then hollow out a empty tunnel 4 Z levels deep, about 7 wide, give or take. And I can have a bridge in the space in the middle. We could still do that. And the off chance that one of these two gets invaded, we could use as the defense for the other one. Have a good night, Infinity Simplex. Like, I know the O slash is a wave, but if you read that quickly, it looks like you're calling him the Simp of the Night. Eat and sleep, Simpo Night. The great Simp of the Night. Boom, 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 boom. No, the big issue is just the amount of resources it's taking to make the brown hill, basically. Because I'm thinking I want it to make it 5. Right now, though, it's going to be 2 diagonal. I have to start curling this, which means I have to figure out how to circle this. If we treat it as if it's a sphere, which it's not really, we did it like that, we'd have to have 1 ramp up after, like, say 5, then 3 or 2, what have you. Problem is, if we curled it that flat that soon, we'd still have the height, but it would look way too blunt. This looks too sharp, but that looks way too blunt. But now this is the second one going up. So after this, we should bring it in a few before we go up another Z level. I would need to figure out what the math is. Unfortunately, while I'm normally good at circles, we're no longer doing a circle. We're essentially doing I want to say oval, but it would be a blunt oval. We're doing the side of an oval. I don't know if there's a particular name for an inverse oval, where it's a circle, but one part's actually flat, as opposed to the whole thing being stretched out and elongated. Also, the music came back on. So let's get rid of the secondary audio. And I am at the thing for the last hour. So, by the way, I record these things and I upload them to the YouTube archive, so bear with me. For those of you who are watching this after the fact on the archive, thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys next time.